I just bought probably the worst BMW ever made, sight unseen from a dealership auction. This thing was dumped for practically nothing. And well, here it is. We're looking at it for the first time together, and in the auction pictures, it looked really nice, but this is a really cool model, a 2009 X650i. It had an $85,000 sticker when it was new, which is like 125 grand in today's money. And it's a very mysterious car with a beautiful interior, and it's making typical BMW noises, which is good. We got a key. And it lights up. 113,000 miles. You always want to check the engine oil on any car before you start it. But look at all this service stuff. It's all been done. Or at least they reset the light. Now let's go over to engine oil level, and oil level below minimal. Okay, 1 quart low. That's not too bad. All right, here it is. 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. Oh, this engine is hot. Oh, this is really hot. Like, they literally just ran this thing. And that's the weirdest part about this car, and what drew me in is that this is being listed as a run and drive by a dealer auction. So not just run, but drive as well. And it looks like they might have been driving it right now. But if you scroll down on the listing, it also says that it has a cracked engine. And they even go as far as putting LKQ in there. That's where you get used engines from and used car parts, like as if it definitely needs an engine. So what in the world could be cracked on an engine but still allow it to run and drive? There were also plenty of signs in the auction pictures that this was a well taken care of car. Just look at the condition of these tan seats. The center armrest isn't worn out at all, and even the door panel grab handle area looks great. And you know I always pay attention to the writing on the buttons, and these buttons are mint. This stuff is important when buying a car sight unseen that is very sensitive to proper maintenance, let's put it that way. And these all point to the possibility that maybe, just maybe, someone loved this car. Now, this doesn't mean a notoriously unreliable car like this is a good idea, but in this case, I'm gonna blame it on the Vino in Italy. I recently took a trip out there with my family, and even my wife tried to talk me out of this. Look at this, look at this. It just came up, like it's finally up. I don't know.
Just sold, is that you?
Congratulations on your purchase. And this thing sold for like a quarter of what it's worth because of that. This makes no sense. So here are the 2 turbos, and I am wondering if something stupid is cracked, something like superficial, maybe a valve cover or something that we can replace. But yeah, this engine is hot. They just ran it. Guys, look at this. This is a cracked plastic engine cover. You gotta understand, on older vehicles at the dealer auction, sometimes they're just looked at briefly by someone that doesn't know too much about cars and then just written off. I got this thing for $3,000 with all of the dealer auction fees as well. If we don't have a cracked block, I will definitely do a full service, but let's just top this up for now. Drink up, little BMW. I'm sure this thing consumes some oil. All right, moment of truth. Is this thing gonna start? What's it gonna sound like? Is oil gonna spew out everywhere? I don't know. All right, here we go. No way. What in the world could be cracked? It's got a misfire. Okay, I mean, that could be as easy as a coil pack. I had my 2000 and, oh wait, now it's like nice again. I just had a bad coil and some bad gas in my old Alpina with basically the same engine. This is the N63, pretty much the worst engine ever. It has all of the issues just built into one, but no, actually this is nice. I think that's just the purge valve that's clicking every once in a while. Right now it's fine. Guys, this is crazy. I mean, I could see a little bit of an oil leak down here, you know, which could just be a valve cover or something. Yeah, I mean, whatever, but to go as far as to say the engine is cracked. I've seen where you tighten a valve cover into the block, crack off if they go too crazy with the torque, or even when you put in a new starter or take out an old rusty one, it could break off like an ear of the engine block. And I got nothing, guys. I mean, it's a BMW, it's got a check engine light. We know that. Guys, it's not blowing any smoke out of the exhaust or anything. It does have a misfire for sure, but this could have been a steal. Now, it is much lower in the back, so this does have air suspension, but something else that caught my eye in the auction listing is the fact that it has basically brand new tires in the rear for sure. And they are mismatched, but these look pretty good too. That's a good sign. Check it out, I just found a live coolant leak. It's dripping down there, you can see it bubbling away. It's probably an original hose. Okay, I mean, I'll take that, but they did already replace the clamps, so someone tried to fix that. These are the factory clamps. So far, coolant leak and a little bit of a misfire. Not bad considering this is a cracked engine. Guys, this thing has a massaging seat. Something is massaging my butt right now. I pressed that right there. It's got massaging seats. I love that. Oh, and a heated steering wheel. Look at that. Sorry, Max, you don't have a massaging seat. All right, I brought the trailer because I don't know what's going on with this whole cracked engine thing. We gotta drive it to the trailer, so let's see if it drives. So far, so good on reverse. Do we have drive? We got drive. This thing's beautiful. Oh, heads-up display is on. It's telling me engine malfunction, reduce power, but it's working, and this thing is very bouncy from the lack of functioning suspension in the rear. Let's see though, are we gonna get some shifts out of this thing? Beautiful. Let's get this thing back to legit street quarters. Guys, I am dying to find out what is possibly cracked on this engine. Place your guesses down below. If you think there's anything cracked, and if you do, what could it be? Does this thing not have a glove box? There's nowhere to open it from. Oh, wait, hold on, what's this? Ah, 6-disc CD changer. What's this? Are you serious? I won't show this up close because it's someone's baby, but this is someone's baby, guys. These are ultrasound pictures. That's really cool. All right, well, I got my baby all strapped down onto the trailer as I'm pointing to it with a literal ultrasound picture. Picking up auction cars never ceases to amaze me with the weird stuff you find. But let's get this back to legit street quarters. We, of course, have the LSE Express supercharged van towing it. And I just texted one of my BMW friends, Sretton, so we'll get his opinion on what's wrong with this thing, too. And another successful trip with the LSE Express van, X6 on the back. It's not that fast with a 5,500 pound SUV on the back, but it does have a supercharger. This paint is in even better shape than I thought. And if this engine's not cracked, you better believe I'm gonna treat this thing to a full detail and ceramic coating using what I use on, well, every single one of my cars, and that is the Avalon King Armor Shield 9, who are having a blowout 4th of July sale right now. Click on the link down below. Normally, the entire DIY kit that comes with everything you need to coat an entire car is $75, but for a limited time, it's only $50. And they're throwing in a bunch of freebies. Just click on the link down below. Usually it's really, really good stuff for free. For those of you guys who have never ceramic coated, it is the easiest thing in the world. You simply just wipe it on, wait about 60 seconds and wipe it off. You are done. If you have waxed a car, this is like 5 times easier. And the results are way better. So wax only lasts a few months. This lasts about 2 or 3 years, and it makes any coated surface super hydrophobic, so water and dirt just bead off and your car will stay cleaner for much longer. All right, guys, check this out. I did a little tape line experiment. So I ceramic coated this part of the hood and not this part of the hood, and you can see the difference. This is without any buffing or really anything. I just cleaned up the hood and ceramic coated it. For best results, you can buff the car out, but this works pretty well with just a simple wash and coat. Look at the difference in color, and that's because the ceramic coating fills the pores of the clear coat, protecting it, but also giving it a deep, glossy shine. Oh, and you wanna see my favorite part? The trim restoration capabilities of this ceramic coating are just unreal. Don't spend any money on a separate trim restoration product. This does it too, and one kit will cover a small to medium sized car. We're talking the paint, the glass, the wheels, and the trim. If you have an SUV or truck, get 2 kits. This is the biggest sale they've had on individual kits ever, and I've been promoting for Avalon King for about 5 years now. It's a fantastic product, great company. So take advantage of the deal. It is limited time, and they're giving away some free stuff. I don't even know what it is. Click on the link down below to find out and pick up your very own kit. Make your car look brand new again. And with that, let's make some phone calls.
Yo.
What's up, man?
What's up, Alex?
Is it red shirt day or what?
All right.
Nice, nice. What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing. I'm doing something you're actually gonna quite like. So I'm manually swapping an E39 Touring.
Nice.
Supercharger.
No way.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
Is that a little tiny baby air filter on there?
Yeah, ignore that. That's just temporary.
No, I like it. Can you send me the link? I need something like that for my LS swap Porsche.
It's gonna be a sweet daily driver, man.
Oh man, that's awesome. You guys get all the wagons out there.
I have another rare one here. This is actually one of 43 ever made. Alpina B10 heated S Touring.
Dude, that's unreal, man. But hey, man, I told you a little bit about the X6, that it's a run and drive with this like cracked engine. So I wanted to get your guess on what you think it is. I did not. I haven't even looked at it yet. So I want to get your guess, and then I'll call you back when I find it. But I told you it was a run and drive, but I want to just give you a fair shot and show you everything that I know, which is essentially it running, and I'll show you the engine really quick. So hang on, I'm gonna do a little flipperoo here. Okay, so here we go. Here is the engine.
N63.
The famous N63, the most reliable, I mean unreliable engine ever made. Well, here, listen to the engine. There we go, now it idles down. It's got a little misfire. Outside of the misfire, it sounds...
I can't really hear it properly, but it seems like it's running fine-ish.
Yeah, I mean, it's running decent. It just has a misfire, but no weird, like, hardcore engine sounds, and then it makes a lot of air noises from a big air leak, but...
That's great. Why would they, like, describe it as cracked engine? Like,
dude, you want to see something funny? I don't know if this is it, but hang on, look at this. The engine cover is cracked.
no, come on.
I don't know, but it's the auction, dude. They run over so many cars there, like, that's just quantity of cars. That's all they care about, so...
Piece of plastic is broken. Oh, the engine is cracked.
One of the two. So anyway, let me get 2 guesses from you. It could be that nothing's cracked. That could be a guess. And then I'll call you back.
All right. So I think nothing is cracked.
Okay, we'll go with your number 1 is that it's not cracked. Number 2, if it was cracked, but it's running, like obviously, what would you think?
Oh God, I have no idea, to be honest with you. So I never had that engine. I never worked on it. I don't know what else it could be. I know they have issues with turbos, with valve stem seals, with timing chain guides, with rod bearings, basically everything.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on.
You got to pick something though, dude.
I don't know. Oil pan?
All right, we'll take it. Everybody else is guessing in the comments, so we got to have your official guess of what's cracked. So I'm gonna lift it up in the air, explore, and I'll call you back.
All right, dude. Sounds good.
Thanks, brother. Talk to you soon.
Fingers crossed.
All right, later.
All right,
Bye. All right, Stretton's going with no crack, which honestly I'm going with too at this point, and he's saying oil pan. I'm gonna pick something too. I'm gonna say a valve cover. Maybe there's a cracked valve cover. That it's thin. That could happen. So anyway, let's lift it up. All right, here we go, here we go. I'm so excited to figure out what this is. Could be nothing, could be something. All right, here we go, underneath the X6 where something could definitely be cracked. Okay, this is intact, so oil pan may be in good shape. Although that was a great guess because they aren't sending this to like the BMW dealer to get inspected. It's just some guy at the auction that's looking at thousands of cars. He may not know all that much. So an oil pan is something most people know what it is. And if it's cracked, they could just say the engine's cracked, but so far so good. I gotta get this off. I mean, we definitely have, you know, some oil leaks here and there. I mean, it's normal, it's a BMW. The shield is no joke. Gigantic bolts hold it on. What does this say? Do not drive without, what do they call this? Stiffening plate. This is called a stiffening plate. Seriously? Does it really do all that much? You know, there's a bunch of these rolling around without the stiffening plate. All right, stiffening plate is off. The car hasn't fallen apart. And here is our oil pan. Definitely some leakage going on, that's for sure. Is that a crack? No. No, that's not a crack. I don't see anything. I don't see anything cracked, but I could see that if this was cracked, it kind of blends in with the rest of the engine that you might write down that you got a cracked engine. I don't know. But this looks to be in good shape. It would be great if this was all it was, because this looks really easy to replace. We definitely have a little bit of oil leakage right here, but I think a lot of this oil leak is coming from the top somewhere, primarily on this side, on the passenger side. But I've been looking around the bell housing and the transmission to see if something cracked off there. Nothing. So far, everything looks pretty normal. No cracks or anything obvious. Oh, and look at this, such a scam. Lifetime oil in the transmission. Yeah, right. I hate when car companies say lifetime because you know they just mean within the warranty, the life of the warranty, and then you're screwed later. Definitely change out lifetime fluids. I gotta say, the rest of the car is really clean. Everything is tight in the steering and suspension. None of the axle boots are even torn, and the exhaust is in excellent condition. Nothing is rusted out. Yeah, look at this. All the hardware is in good shape. This is where I'll eventually be looking for air leaks, but everything back here looks to be really nice as well. The rear differential's not leaking. This is great. All right, so far so good under here. Let's take some engine stuff apart and dig in some more. It's like an episode of Car Indiana Jones right now. All right, we have a lot of plastic air intake stuff to remove so we can see the valve covers and everything. Really nice BMW clips, I gotta say. Sweet. These are really nice, and they come out nice and easy too. Love you, BMW. You make everything so easy to work on. I'm just kidding. Look at this absolute nightmare with no room to get to anything. Wow. Like, this is the kind of engine that EV nerds look at and they're like, combustion engines are going away forever because they're too complicated. I mean, with this, you kind of got to agree, but not with all of them. Like a stock LS makes the same power. So easy to work on. This will be around forever. Second cold air induction tube coming off. There we go. Anything obviously cracked? No, and no. All right, wait a minute. What is that? That is definitely a crack. That is definitely a crack. I found a crack right up on top. I didn't have to take anything off. What? Okay, so this is one of the turbochargers, and I didn't see this earlier. I mean, it's really hard to see, but there is definitely a crack. See that right there, focus? There we go. Look at that, that's cracked, definitely. All right, so that's the blow-off valve. Makes sense. A lot of them are electronic, especially in complicated Euro cars and my Ford Taurus, but that's definitely a replaceable part, so I doubt that's it. So far we found 2 parts of the engine that are cracked, the cover and a blow-off valve. Let's keep going. Airbox is coming off. Ow, 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 hot V. I just burned my arm. Oh man, that is hot. Okay, let engines cool off before you work on them, people. These cars will definitely hurt you financially and they can hurt you physically as well. All right, let's go airbox. Why are you gonna be so difficult? All right, get that out of the way. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And we'll remove this one, 2. And this little center section, goodbye. Just to get the air boxes out. There's bars right here that get in the way. It's ridiculous. Get out! More bolts and more parts have to come out. Oh my gosh, all right, move this out of the way. Now I can get to this bolt to remove this. And now hopefully remove the airbox. Oh man, all right, that was horrible. Hey, we can see stuff though, that's nice. With the airbox off, we can see the top of the valve cover, and on the passenger side, nothing looks cracked. And same thing on the driver's side. Guys, is that it? Are there no cracks on this engine? I mean, it has no major oil leaks, and like the auction listed cracked engine and then the used engine supplier where you can get this engine from LQK or LKQ, whatever. That is super specific. And if you know older German cars, you know this is not a real oil leak. I mean, this is nothing. This is seepage over years. I mean, and it's all dirty, like no one's been in there. All right, I'm taking this panel off right now. I noticed a crack there. I'm noticing every like superficial crack. And I'm like, is that what they mean? I mean, this is bone dry. Any cracks, any cracks, any cracks? We have an oil cooler. All right, that looks good. It's hard to see on camera, but I can get in there with my pen light. Nothing on the front cover is cracked. Drink every time I say cracked, or crack. I mean, or not, you get messed up. All right, guys, I can't find anything. I've looked everywhere. I did find something cool back here, though. The airbags are shot. Look at this. So all the air is most likely leaking out of these. And this side's a little better, but nah, that's leaking, I'm sure. We'll double check that's where the leak's from once we get this engine running, but for now, this thing definitely has a dead misfire. Maybe that's why they condemned the engine, because it has no compression on one of the cylinders or something. I don't know, but let's go scan for codes and figure that out. We're scanning faults right now. Wow, look at that. 55, 59, oh man. This is gonna be bad. And I did plug in the mass airflow sensors temporarily just so we won't set a code for those. Okay, there's the air pump. Every time I turn the ignition on, the air pump runs. Okay. We got 64 codes. Nintendo 64? You a Nintendo guy or a Sega guy back in the day? I don't even know if Sega still exists, but I used to be a Sega guy. Now my kids got the Switch, so I'm back to Nintendo. That was my first console, Nintendo, like the original. I'm old. All right, this looks cool, but we're gonna go to the list. Lots of stuff going on here. Lots of misfires. Okay, and we also have, you know, some variable camshaft timing codes, fuel pressure codes, like literally everything. Okay, great. It's definitely one of those situations where you have to clear out the codes and let it run to see what pops up, because we know that the auction replaced the battery, and when batteries get low on these things, they can set like every single code. Oh, and what's kind of nice is that these are on both banks. So this is 1 through 4, this is 5 through 8. So they're just all over the place. This could be bad fuel as well. Yeah, let's erase you. Goodbye. All right, you're done. Fixed. All right, let's start off with the very basics. Always go for the ignition system first. So we have our connector off, and we'll pull out a coil. And look at that. This was replaced in September of 2012. Man, I'm waiting to hear back from BMW right now, but I wonder if they did a bunch of work on this thing in 2012. I mean, it was 3 years old after all. I mean, that's a lifetime. Okay, let's see what we got for a spark plug. I think these are recommended like every 60,000. It could just be really old. That coupled with potentially old fuel as well, although that maintenance sticker wasn't from that long ago, so it had to have been on the road, you know, kind of recent, like in the last 3 months. Its next oil change is in like 4,000 miles. All right, what do we got? What do we got? I had to bust out the old 12.14 mil socket for these. What is this thing? Bosch. It's a BMW spark plug. Yeah, it doesn't look horrible. All right, let's take a look inside of Das Zylinder. Okay, we have a piston that's pretty far up, but man, not much carbon at all. This piston looks amazing. God, can you imagine if this had like a new engine? I mean, I doubt it, but that'd be crazy. Now it's also important to check your spark plug gap. 35 thousandths, a little loose, probably like 36, 37. Factory gap is 32. So the plugs have worn just a little bit, but it's nothing crazy like 50, 60 thousandths of an inch where you could have an issue with the spark jumping the gap. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in and our coil and fire it back up. I wanna see, now that we have the codes cleared, if we can pinpoint this misfire to a specific cylinder. With everything put back together, let's start it up. There she is. How's it gonna run? Yeah, we see. Idling down. Yeah, definitely still sounds a little rough. I would say it's currently misfiring right now. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's like maybe a 7-cylinder. It's not horrible though, just a little shaky. All right, let's hope that it codes up. Oh, there it is, hang on. Yeah, it's missing pretty good. All right, let's scan it again, see if anything's popped up. Read codes. Well, this is interesting. This is what's popped up so far. So we have an exhaust camshaft code and oil level issue. Now, we don't have an actual dipstick. We just checked through the little computer there. It's possible that sensor's bad and this thing is lower on oil than we think it is, which can definitely affect the Vanos and the variable valve time and all that kind of good stuff because it relies on oil pressure. Oh wow, and look at this. This warning just popped up on its own. I didn't go to this. Below minimum, can cause damage. Okay, we're shutting her down. I absolutely hate this era of German cars with no engine oil dipstick. We have to rely on electronics, which are, you know, not the best in a BMW for something so important. It's just so frustrating. So we added oil, we checked oil. It could be much, much lower. All right, well that has me pretty worried because what if this thing is like 4 quarts low or something? I think it holds 9. And because the oil level is so low right now, it's not leaking out of, you know, something that's cracked. I don't know, but the exhaust camshaft position thing, that could definitely be because it's massively low on oil. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and drain the oil. Let's see how much comes out. All right, well, that's fun. Look at this drain plug. Great. Let's see if we can get this thing to go. Okay. Oh, all right. Just had a burr, I guess. Oh, nice. All right, here we go. All right. Seems to have a decent amount of oil. Okay. Need a way bigger funnel. Using a much bigger funnel so far. We're at about 4 quarts. And okay, I don't see anything really horrible just yet. Okay. This is kind of an issue. Looks like this thing is drained and I've only done this once. Does this hold 5 quarts? I don't know. Yeah, I'm using a new container. Now let's get the rest of this out and see about what we had in there. Oh man, it's not looking good. We were pretty much empty. Still got the oil filter though. There's hope this thing had some oil, but I mean, I spilled a lot when I first started draining, so we got 5 out of that, maybe a little more because I kind of like went all the way to the top. So I'd say 6. We probably had 6. Yeah, we probably had 6, I think, out of 9. So I mean, that's kind of good and bad because it's not enough to like cause any serious engine damage. 6 quarts will still suck up in the pickup tube and all that. But yeah, I don't know. That could set some camshaft timing, you know, type of codes. Oh, wait a minute, and remember I added a whole nother quart, so it probably had like 5-ish quarts, something like that, maybe 5.5. We got about another half quart here. And I already loosened up the oil filter housing, so let's see what we get out of this guy. It's a bottom mount, so we'll get a decent amount. And the oil filter does not lie. Is there glitter or chunks? Let's see. No, this looks awesome. Seriously, this looks really, really good. Woo! all right. That is fantastic news. We have a good looking oil filter. Oil looks normal. It was low, I'd say roughly 3 to 4 quarts, something like that, which could cause the camshaft code. So I have the oil, I don't have the filter. Let's get that, do an oil change essentially, and see where we're at. Now, probably the most important maintenance item on any car is changing your oil, but especially with complicated Euro engines with variable valve timing. The entire system is dependent on clean oil, but for some crazy reason, the interval from BMW was an insane 15,000 miles. If you followed that, you were almost guaranteed to have issues, and if you own one of these, now you know exactly how to change your own oil, and I recommend you do it every 7,000 miles at the most. An oil change cheap, and it'll save you thousands in the long run. And here is the last little bit of oil that we're adding, so 9.5 quarts is what we've put in now. We know that for sure, and of course, I'm using AMSOIL Synthetic, my favorite oil of all times. And you guys can get this delivered right to your door and get 25% off by clicking on my link down below. All right, we are good. Let's fire this up and see if codes come back. Fire in the BMW hole. All right, does it sound any different? When it's on high idle, it's hard to tell. Let's see when it idles down. I'll clear codes in the meantime. Okay, clear. All right, no codes detected yet. Still no codes detected. That stuff came back right away before. Let's go to the tailpipe. All right, I think it sounds better. Guys, was that all it is? Was it just massively low on oil? I mean, this is a real thing, by the way. Like when I used to work for the city of Chicago, we had all of the EcoBoost engines in the Explorers, and the cops would just beat on these things like crazy, as you can imagine, in Chicago, and they would go low on oil, and it would set cam codes. That would simply go away if we just topped it up with oil. We would just do an oil change though, and usually add a little bit more to prolong these things as much as we could. That could be the exact same thing we're seeing right here. Oh no, I let it run for like 5 minutes. No oil code, but we are getting this exhaust camshaft 2 code. All right, so maybe not. Maybe it does actually have an issue with the variable valve timing. That could be a camshaft, a timing chain, an actuator, a sensor. Yeah, that would be more BMW-like. All right, guys, so we are in live data right now, taking a look at the position of the camshafts, and pay attention to the exhaust camshaft. So the first and third, right now with the engine off, they are the same, and we're gonna start it up right now. And look at that. This one is much different than that one. They are off for sure. And you can see here on the intake side, they're exactly the same. And now that it's idled down, take a look at the difference. 119 and 73. That's probably around the same range of adjustment that the actuator has for the camshaft. So I think that exhaust camshaft, the number 2 exhaust camshaft on bank 2, I think it's totally stuck. And it's intermittent, look at that. Sometimes it clears up and the engine runs fine. Yeah, like right now, it's running pretty good. And look at our misfire counter. Everything is at 0 right now. Like I said, sometimes when you have a bunch of misfire codes on a BMW or any German car that's been sitting around for a while, just start over, clear them out. It could be nothing, old fuel, stuff like that. This is kind of a cool one. Status of tapping noise. No tapping noise detected. Okay. I'm assuming it's just a reading from the knock sensors, but it's just kind of funny how they write that. And there she is. Check engine light is back. Oh, there it is. It is definitely in those airbags. That's the leak for sure. With the cords showing, they'd need to be replaced no matter what. But yeah, basically every time we turn this engine on, and even when we shut it off, it has a reservoir and it tries to fill up those airbags and it just can't. All right, hang on a second. So we found the ultrasound pictures in this thing, and I just want to explore around, see what else we can find. Sometimes we can find receipts for repairs and things like that. So maybe, just maybe, something was done with the engine. But if you guys aren't too familiar with the X6, it's a little bit of an interesting design because it is a mid-size SUV, and this one's a 4-seater. I think there may have been an option to have a seat here, or maybe not, but this is a legitimate 4-seater SUV, and you get this cool little console area. It's actually in pretty good condition, like nothing's scratched up. Okay, we have some trim pieces for the seat. Okay, that's probably for the back. But yeah, these things were very heavily optioned. Well, I mean, they could be. This has rear heated seats, obviously front heated seats with the massage. And anything in here? No. Let's see, how does this work? Okay. Little stain there from a drink. What is this? What? What? Dude, what is this? I have no idea what this is. Does it tell me? Oh, okay, yeah, duh, that's what it is. It's the Die Landung des Starf den Daharing, I don't know, that kind of looks like SVO. Yeah. But there's an exclamation at the end of this word. Beechington. Where's Stretton when you need him? I sometimes say Stretton. It's just, he said it's common. A lot of us Yanks will say Stretton, but it's Stretton. Like the R. Yeah, okay. I don't know German, but I need him right now. It's some kind of bag. We're gonna figure out what this is. I'll let you know here in a couple of minutes. I just wanna look around and see if there's any receipts or anything. Oh wait, there's a button right here. What in the world? Whoa, what? This whole thing just, dude. Wow, the seat's falling on me. Oh, it's just unlocked here. Okay, so this folds down. What do we got in the back? That works well. And what is this? Some kind of invisible security thing. Roadside assistance, you definitely need that with the BMW. And I saw this in the auction pictures that we have floor mats, and there was a sunshade for the dash. It's gone, it's missing. It was in the auction pictures. And that was another sign that I think they took care of the car, because I mean, if you're putting that on the dash every time, like that's some work. Okay, so this is just the cover that goes there. Oh yeah, we have a spare tire. Man, this looks so nice in here. I couldn't find any signs of any accidents underneath. Yeah, this is great. I'm missing some stuff for the toolkit. Not exactly sure what was here. Oh, this is like super loose. Oh, you know what? They replaced the battery. They do the bare minimum. Like, did they even, yeah, this is the battery hold down. They didn't even put that back. So I'll have to fix that. But we got a brand new battery. These are really expensive. All right, well, that's what they did. I'll do that for now too. What in the world? Look at this. It's like a little edge guard or something that they put on there, and it looks like fake carbon fiber. What do we got in here? Oh, this is an old cell phone holder. Okay, got that. Aux in, cool. Nothing, no receipts. Did not find anything. Stop making that noise. Okay, I'll take the key out, maybe that'll do it. Is there, oh yes. What do we got? Oh, it's the onboard navigation. Darn. Sometimes I find cool CDs. Oh, but we haven't checked the 6-disc. Let's see. Anything? Okay. Yeah, there's probably nothing in there. Check it out, that thing is a ski bag. So you load the skis in from the trunk and they go through and they're all snowy, but the bag protects your interior. So this X6 has seriously every single option, and it does have this ski bag option. And so this is what it looks like in my X6. Doesn't look like it's ever been used. These back seats are basically mint. And yeah, so then this bag, well, you'd have to run it through the trunk. Oh, that's probably what this button is. Hello. Guys, look what I found in the car. Vehicle return authorization. That means someone else bought this car and there was some kind of arbitration and they returned it, meaning that they found bad things that weren't disclosed possibly or something like that, and they returned the car. So someone else has probably tried to fix this thing. That's not a good sign. All right, guys, I know this is super scary, especially on a BMW of this vintage. And don't get me wrong, I'm scared as well, because not only is this BMW's worst engine ever made because of all of its potential issues, but they didn't make it easy to fix, like at all. So many things on this require the engine to be removed. There's no room for anything. Just to check the timing on this is like an 8 to 10 hour job. But in doing my research, it's gonna come down to this. Our issue is either about a $200 part that will take me roughly 5 hours to replace, so not bad at all, or the flip side is the engine's coming out. It's gonna require many thousands of dollars, a ton of while you're in theirs, and a lot of risk that may or may not be worth it on a car like this. But if we can fix it for cheap, I got it for $3 grand. These things sell, you know, between $9,000 and $12,000 in good running condition and cleaned up. And this car is in good shape, clean title, no accidents. So there is a big upside, and honestly, the downside's not bad, because this thing could be parted out for way more than $3,000. Look at the price of just headlights, used headlights. Here is a transmission. The interior is in excellent condition. So as a parts car, this thing is worth more than $3,000. So a very low risk gamble and a ton of fun for me. I love this kind of stuff. When I worked at the Mercedes-Benz dealership as a technician, all the used car salesmen would come to me before they sent a broken car to auction, because they knew I would buy it. So anyway, I live for this stuff. I'm super excited. I'm a little scared, but in the next video, we are digging into this engine to see what in the world is going on and to see if I can fix it easily. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this little adventure with me. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, share the video with your friends, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and most importantly, have a fantastic day. I'll see all of you in the next video. You know, that's about as far as they go at the auction, you know, that's about as far as they go at the auction. They don't actually fix anything. And I've come to realize if I find any information in this car as to if I find any information on who the previous owners are in the car, I'm gonna reach out, and if I find any information on who the all right, well, I got my baby all strapped on, strapped in, strapped down. There we go. Like, this is the type of engine EV guys look at and they're like, yeah, what do they say? And I loosened up. Yeah,